Ah, the Old Fashioned. Such an iconic drink. You know, it's so simple, yet so versatile. It's really just three components: spirit, sugar, bitters. But you change those up, and you can just create a whole world of flavor. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to create the perfect Old Fashioned for every season. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do a winter Old Fashioned. We're going to do an Old Fashioned for the spring. We're going to do a summer Old Fashioned. And finally, a fall autumn Old Fashioned. Let's do it. We're starting, of course, with winter. And this is actually a cocktail I made back during the last holiday season. This is the Winter Old Fashioned, a wonderful Old Fashioned variation with some strong, bold winter flavors. We've got some allspice, we've got some port wine, we have some rye whiskey. I'm using Lot 40 Dark Oak Canadian rye whiskey today. So let's start with 2 ounces of rye whiskey. And this one's actually called the Winter Old Fashioned, so, you know, it's perfectly fitting. All right, after that, we're going to do half an ounce of Allspice Dram or Allspice Liqueur. Click that link for a recipe to my Allspice Liqueur. I make my own because it's not available here. I almost need a new bottle. It's almost done. All right, after that, we're going to do half an ounce of your favorite port or another fortified wine will work just fine. Something kind of fruity and bold, sweet. It'll work good here. Look how it changes the color. Love it. All right, on to some bitters. What we're gonna want for this is, I mean, you can do pretty much anything. You can go Ango, pretty standard, but I'm gonna do today some Maple Walnut Bitters. Oh, it's so good. A couple dashes of that. These bottles dash so strangely. It's kind of the equivalent of 2 regular dashes, but you'll see me dashing like 50 times. After that, we're going to do a couple dashes of Cardamom Bitters. Cardamom, I love these for fall and winter drinks. Just works so well. All right, dropping in a nice big chunk of clear ice. Give that a nice big stir. Fast stir for about 10-15 seconds. Excellent. For garnish on this one here, we go a little crazy because this is a winter drink, it's a holiday drink, and we want to just really get all those warm winter flavors in there. So we're going to start with an orange peel. It's pretty standard across all Old Fashions. We're going to rub it around, express the oils, and stick it behind there. We're also going to do a cinnamon stick, as well as a star anise. So just grab my little tongs there and just set that in there. Remember when I did this last holiday season, I also put a few cloves in there. Those were a little overpowering, so I left them out this time. But that cinnamon stick and that star anise will continue to flavor the drink. It's such a flavorful drink, so many spices going on. It's a flavor bomb. But perfect Old Fashioned for the winter season. Yeah, it's just great. All right, we're moving on to the springtime. So today we're making an Elder Old Fashioned. So it's a bit of a riff on an Elder Old Fashioned. I do it a little differently. We're going to do some corn whiskey. This is a local corn whiskey, but you could do a bourbon here. You want kind of a sweeter whiskey, so a bourbon would be great. So I'm doing 2 ounces of our corn whiskey. Yeah, got some spillage there. This stuff is so good. It's cask strength, so it's nice and strong too. We're then going to do half an ounce of Elderflower Liqueur. So springtime, you're thinking kind of floral notes, honey, things like that. So this is a really good Old Fashioned for the springtime. Almost done my bottle of Saint Germain. Gonna need a new bottle. All right. Now the recipe for the Elder Old Fashioned that I found called for a honey syrup. I thought it'd be too sweet, so I figured, well, if we're going the honey route, why not Drambuie? So I'm going to do half an ounce of Drambuie. It's going to give us some additional kind of floral, spicy notes, as well as the honey notes that the original recipe called for. Okay, on to the bitters here. I'm going to go pretty classic for this one. Angostura Bitters, as well as a couple of orange bitters. Again, the bitters is really up to you. If you got kind of a bitter that you think would go well with these spring flavors, then go right ahead. Just like our last one, we're going to drop in a nice big chunk of ice and give her a stir for 10-15 seconds. Looking good. Garnish on this one, once again, our orange peel. Nice big orange peel. Express those oils. You know the drill. Get it in the glass. But we're also going to do a sprig of rosemary. It's going to give it kind of a nice springtime look, and it'll kind of have an aroma as you bring it up to your nose. If you actually had, like, I've seen people actually have like a sprig of elderflower, well, that'd be great. I have no idea what that even looks like. There it is, the Elder Old Fashioned with Saint Germain and Drambuie. It's very sweet, it's floral, it's honey, like it's really good. It's a really good old fashioned riff. You could back down the liqueurs a little bit if you wanted to. All right, on to summer. For our summer drink, we are going to borrow a recipe from Vino Valentino over at 60 Second Cocktail. This is the Piña Colada Old Fashioned. So we're doing a pineapple rum and a coconut rum. Shout out to subscriber Trevor Rose for sending me a bottle of Shipwreck, because this stuff is amazing and it's not available in Canada right now, or at least where I am. So 1 ounce of pineapple rum. I'm doing the recipe a little differently from what Vino did. He used a sugar cube. I'm going to use a syrup. But other than that, the specs are pretty much the same. After our pineapple rum, we're going to do 1 ounce of coconut rum. So Shipwreck coconut rum is still fairly sweet, but not as sweet as, say, a Malibu, which is technically a coconut liqueur. After that, we're going to do a bar spoon of Demerara syrup. You could actually leave this out. I mean, the Shipwreck does give it enough sweetness, but hey, it's a summer drink. Even though it's an old-fashioned, you want to make it kind of sweet. 2 dashes of orange bitters. And then here I thought, instead of Ango, why not go with some tiki bitters? Because again, this is a summer drink. Let's go for some nice kind of tropical flavors. So some tiki bitters in there, a couple dashes, a couple drops. And let's move on. Drop in our clear ice. And let's give this bad boy a stir. I don't know, did I do that in under 60 seconds? I don't know. I cut, so it's not like not like it counts. All right, for garnish, we're gonna do an orange peel, of course. I'm pretty sure they all have orange peels. All right, express and slide it in the glass. And because this is a pina colada, we gotta put a pineapple chunk and a couple maraschino cherries. Look at that, and there it is, our summer pina colada old fashioned. It's still stiff, it's still an old fashioned, but it's sweet, and coconut and the pineapple come through. Vino, this is an amazing drink. Love it. Yeah, this and the tiki bitters, they're nice. They add a nice little spicy note to it. Let's move on. Our final one, autumn, fall. Obviously, you gotta go apple cinnamon, right? I mean, how could you not? So we're gonna be doing some apple brandy. I'm using a Calvados. You could totally do an Applejack here or whatever apple brandy you have. So we're gonna do 2 ounces of our apple brandy in our glass. Oh God, the spillage. What is happening? After that, we're gonna do a 1/4 ounce of cinnamon syrup. You could go 1/2 ounce if you want it even sweeter. That's up to you. I'm just gonna do 1/4 ounce. I may have over poured. Anyways, somewhere in between 1/4 and 1/2 ounce. It's still gonna be delicious. Bitters, we gotta go fall flavors with the bitters. We're gonna do 2 dashes of ginger, and we're gonna bring back our Maple Walnut Bitters as well. And oh my God, is that gonna ever be delicious? All right, so a couple dashes there, and that's the drink. It's pretty simple. We're gonna drop in our clear ice. This is the last one. You guys know the drill. Stir, stir, stir. For garnish, bringing back the orange. This is actually my second orange. I think I completely peeled the other one. After about 3 peels, the orange is pretty much done. All right, and we're gonna do a cinnamon stick, obviously. And there it is, the apple cinnamon old fashioned. It's remarkable how much this just tastes like, apple pie. The apple really comes out of the brandy, and that cinnamon just complements it so well. I mean, apple cinnamon just goes so well together. This may be one of my favorites from the lot, but they're all amazing. So try these out, guys. 4 old fashions for each season. You can have these all year round, but I mean, they work They really just work within their respective seasons. The winter old fashioned, I've had a bunch of those during the winter. The spring one's delicious. The Piña Colada, oh my god. And we're heading into fall season now if you're watching this when I release the video. So I will be having a whole lot of those apple cinnamon old fashions. We'll see you next time. Cheers.